Viktorija Golubic furious after her heated clash with Sorana Cîrstea in Osaka. She stormed off the court, frustration written all over her face. And yet, the real story wasn't about the score. It was about what happened in between the points, the emotions that boiled beneath the surface, and the moment that changed how fans saw both players. This was supposed to be a normal quarterfinal. Instead, it became one of the most emotionally charged battles of the year. Osaka, the city where calm meets chaos. Under the dome of the Kinoshita Group Japan Open, two women stepped onto the court chasing very different dreams. Viktorija Golubic, the quiet Swiss strategist, had been building momentum all week. Her game was pure craftsmanship, variations, slices, delicate angles. She had fought through earlier rounds with her trademark patience and grace, her confidence quietly growing. Across the net stood Sorana Cîrstea, bold, aggressive, unapologetically fiery. The Romanian veteran thrives on tempo. She doesn't just play tennis. She attacks it. Her forehand can crush an opponent's rhythm in seconds. Their paths had rarely crossed. Yet that morning, as the Osaka crowd filed into the stands, you could sense an unspoken tension. Two players with completely different energies, two playing philosophies destined to clash. Golubic was looking to prove she still belonged among the elite. Cîrstea wanted to show she wasn't done winning big matches. For both, this quarter-final wasn't just about advancing. It was about respect. No one could have predicted how quickly respect would turn into rivalry. The first set was all Cîrstea. From the opening game, she dictated every rally, stepping inside the baseline and taking the ball early. Her forehand landed heavy, her serves precise. Golubic tried to counter with rhythm changes, but it wasn't enough. The scoreline 6-2 looked one-sided, but the energy on court told a deeper story. Cîrstea celebrated points with clenched fists and piercing yells. Golubic, usually calm, started to show cracks. A raised eyebrow here, a clenched jaw there. Small gestures that hinted at frustration. Then came the second set, and a sudden shift. Golubic began constructing points again, slowing rallies down, drawing errors from the Romanian. Her soft slices and clever drop shots disrupted Cîrstea's rhythm. The crowd loved it. Suddenly, the Swiss player was in control, taking the set 6-2 and roaring for the first time in the match. But as the match tightened, the atmosphere turned tense. A disputed line call midway through the deciding set sparked something raw. Golubic believed a crucial ball was out. The umpire disagreed. Cîrstea, unfazed, walked back to the baseline with a smirk. From that point, every point carried a layer of emotion. Rackets slapped the court, glares were exchanged, and the handshake waiting at the end began to feel heavier by the minute. The third set wasn't just tennis. It was theater. Golubic's frustration became visible. She shouted toward her box, gesturing with disbelief after missed returns. Her rhythm was gone, her timing off. Every unforced error felt like an insult to the control she had worked so hard to regain. Cîrstea, sensing her opponents unraveling, doubled down. Her energy grew louder, her celebrations bolder. She hit deeper, faster, and started talking to herself between points, pumping herself up after every winner. The Osaka crowd could feel the electricity. The polite applause from earlier turned into gasps, murmurs, and scattered cheers. One player feeding on adrenaline, the other trying not to drown in it. At 4-2, Cîrstea broke Golubic's serve again. The frustration boiled over. A racket toss, a glance skyward, a muttered word under her breath. She wasn't just angry at the situation. She was angry at herself. By the time the Romanian sealed the match 6-2, the air was thick with tension. The final handshake was quick, too quick. Cîrstea gave a firm nod. Golubic barely made eye contact. What was meant to be sportsmanship felt more like a silent declaration. This wasn't over. After the match, both players walked separate paths, literally and emotionally. Cîrstea faced the press first, smiling, controlled, almost diplomatic. She praised her opponent's tactics, saying Golubic was a tough player who changes pace and makes you think. But her tone carried quiet confidence, the satisfaction of someone who believed she had earned every Point Golubic's reaction was the opposite. She arrived late to the interview room, her expression unreadable. When asked about her emotions, she kept it short. It was intense. Sometimes you feel things more deeply than you should. No direct criticism, no excuses. But her eyes told the rest. Clips of the handshake started circulating online within hours. Fans debated what had really happened. Some called Golubic's behavior unsportsmanlike. Others defended her passion. Tennis Twitter lit up with side-by-side replays, zooming in on body language, lip movements, the smallest flicker of expression. What began as a quarterfinal now lived on as a controversy. Not because of any rule violation, but because of emotion, raw and unfiltered, displayed on one of the sport's most disciplined stages. Golubic had always been known for composure. But in Osaka, for a brief moment, she let the mask slip, and the internet noticed. So what truly fueled Golubic's fury? It wasn't just losing, it was the way she lost. For 2 sets, she had proven she could outthink Cîrstea. She had taken control of the rallies, found her flow, and then watched it all crumble when a few key points went against her. She's a player built on rhythm and precision. When that precision fades, frustration fills the gap. And when emotion enters, Golubic's game, usually quiet, smooth, calculated, begins to fracture. There's also the competitive edge that fans rarely see. Beneath her calm exterior lies a fierce perfectionist. Every mistake hurts more. Every lost point lingers, and in Osaka, under the glare of the crowd, it all erupted. For Cîrstea, the moment showed something else entirely: poise under fire. Her ability to stay present, to ride out the storm, proved decisive. She didn't feed the tension. She used it. And that may have been the difference between victory and defeat. Behind the scenes, coaches and insiders described Golubic's reaction as a wake-up call. Not because she lost control, but because she finally showed how much the game means to her. The fury wasn't disrespect. It was heartbreak, the kind that only comes when you care too much. In the days that followed, both women moved on to new tournaments, but the echoes of Osaka lingered. The clip of Golubic's walk-off moment trended for days. Fans argued, should players be allowed to show raw emotion, or should they always stay composed? Cîrstea's win propelled her deeper into the draw, and she carried that same fire into her semifinal appearance. Her confidence was back, and her message clear: experience matters. Golubic, meanwhile, took time off before returning to the tour. In later interviews, she spoke more openly about emotion and control. "Sometimes you have to allow yourself to feel things," she said. "That's part of growth, and maybe that's the real takeaway." The fury in Osaka wasn't a meltdown. It was a moment of truth. It exposed the thin line between composure and collapse, between strategy and emotion. For every athlete who fights to stay calm under pressure, Golubic's frustration is a mirror, a reminder that passion and pain often share the same space. So was Viktorija Golubic's fury a loss of control, or proof that she still has fire left to fight for more? That's the question fans continue to ask. In Osaka, Sorana Cîrstea walked away with the victory. But Viktorija Golubic walked away with something deeper: the truth about her limits, her emotions, and her resilience. Sometimes defeat speaks louder than a trophy. If you enjoyed this story and want more deep-dive tennis documentaries, the rivalries, the emotions, the drama behind every handshake, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next one. Because in tennis, the match might end at match point, but the real story always begins after. Would you like me to add 3 timestamp suggestions? For example, Golubic's post-match interview or Cîrstea's celebration moment to match the emotional beats for your editor?